Tonight on the Bayou Breakdown,
the Eagles win their second Super Bowl in history.
Women's basketball gets another top 25 win.
And a look at one LSU superfan with some special headwear.
All that and more, the Bayou Breakdown starts now. Welcome to the Bayou Breakdown. I'm Madelyn Frentress.
And I'm Olivia Drawdy.
Today, 19th District Court Judge Tarvald Smith denied LSU's request to dismiss a case filed by law professor Ken Levy. Levy filed the lawsuit after LSU put him on administrative leave following the negative comments Levy made about President Donald Trump and Governor Jeff Landry in class. LSU lawyers argued that the case was premature as their investigation is ongoing and is not a political matter. Levy's lawyers argue that the professor was not given his due process and should have been kept in the classroom during the investigation.
Now, Madelyn, we have to admit when we were wrong, and boy, were we wrong about last night.
Yeah, Olivia, our producer Andon reminded us of a clip from a few weeks ago, and we really missed the mark on the big game this year. Let's roll tape. Guys, who are your picks for the Super Bowl?
I'm not betting against Pat, so I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm not betting against the ref, so I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I'm not betting against Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, so I'm going with the Chiefs.
Well, unfortunately, guys, I'm going to make it 4 for 4 for the three-peat. I'm also taking the Chiefs. Well, we've got to hold our hands up on that one, Olivia. But one of the coolest parts of the weekend happened the day before the game, actually, when LSU brought the purple and gold spirit to New Orleans.
Yeah, Madelyn, and while former LSU football stars were in town, they stopped by to show some love to the LSU fans.
After 12 years, the Super Bowl finally came back to the boot. On Saturday, ahead of the big game, LSU got in on the action through Go Zone, a pop-up shop and meet and greet with fans and its current and former football stars in New Orleans.
This is an awesome experience, and it's not always here, so it's great to come out here and see all the action and everyone having a great time.
Fans got to meet current players like kicker Damian Ramos and linebacker Princeton Malbrew. But the line went almost out the gates of the event for the chance to meet former Tigers such as Tyrann Mathieu, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Brian Thomas Jr.
This is one of the best experiences I've had so far. Just really being able to still have that LSU connection. I mean, obviously, I know I went there, won a national championship, but once you see the joy it brings people, just being able to have these LSU guys around and we able to come home and have these events like this here, it goes to show you that, we change a lot of lives and make a lot of people happy. And being able to continuously do that years after you finish playing is something that you wish you could do while you're playing. So being able to do it in the future is cool, which is now the present. So I'm glad I'm able to do it.
The event featured special merchandise to recognize the players who attended and a booth that allowed fans to fully customize their new gear. Some fans came specifically to meet their LSU football idols, but others were there for the Super Bowl festivities. Whether you were an LSU fan, NFL fan, or just someone who likes to party, New Orleans was the place to be. There may not have been many former Tigers playing in the game this weekend, but it was still special to see them show up and meet those who support them.
Yeah, Madelyn, absolutely. And with all the fan festivities out of the way, it was finally time to get on the field.
And while most people expected a close game, that's not what we got at all.
No, Madelyn, and I think a lot of people were surprised because this line matchup was so highly anticipated. You had the #1 offensive line with the Chiefs and the #1 defensive line with the Eagles. And for some reason, the Chiefs' O-line just did not show up. Vic Fangio, the Eagles' defensive coordinator, did not send a single blitz all game. And yet, Patrick Mahomes was sacked a massive 6 times.
Yeah, and Mahomes' gameplay didn't help them much either. He was 21 for 32 with 257 yards, and even that stat line is deceiving. He was scrambling all night. He had 2 interceptions. 1 to Zach Bond, 1 to Cooper DeJean. He had a birthday pick 6. But Hurts, on the other hand, was 17 for 22. He had 221 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 2 passing touchdowns, and he deserved that Super Bowl MVP. And with a game like the Super Bowl, there's bound to be plenty of chatter on social media.
Right, Madelyn, and our own Patricia Caputo has more, as always, with Social Scoreboard. Patricia?
Thanks, ladies. Welcome to another edition of Social Scoreboards. With the big game Sunday, it is only fitting we discuss how the Philadelphia Eagles crushed the hopes of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, becoming the first ever team to three-peat in the NFL. Some fans, especially New England fans, were ecstatic about the loss. Coming in at number 3, most days he's just an unbiased Red Sox fan. But Sunday, this user put his objectivity to the side and said, Mahomes will never be as good as Brady, following his Megamind meme that says, no three-peat. Aw. Coming in at number 2, look, I apologize if I laugh at this one in advance because as Taylor Swift would say, I can't even say it with a straight face, but I'm going to try. I've been saying this since 2017. Mahomes is not built for the NFL, said Ben Astrick. The lights constantly get too bright in big moments and he struggles under pressure. Maybe he is confusing those shining lights with Mahomes' 3 shiny Super Bowl rings, but according to Ben, Jalen Hurts is clearly the better quarterback. And at number 1, big baseball fan 23 was also a big fan of the Chiefs' loss Sunday night. We'll keep it PG. We'll say LOL instead. Mahomes is a bum. Three-peat my dupa, followed by laughing emojis in the shape of an L. Look up what dupa means in Polish and you'll catch his drift. On the other side of things, the Eagles social media admin had the perfect response to Philly's dominating win. In our winning era, the Eagles said on X, another shout out to Taylor Swift, who is from Pennsylvania and used to rock the Eagles jersey from time to time in her younger days. At number 2, Antifreeze on X was only willing to celebrate the Eagles' victory for about 2 seconds. Proud of you, they said on X, but back to hating you, respectfully. I feel like this statement might have been accurate for a few more NFL fans. Coming in at number 1, now this one was not on social media. Instead, this was a text sent personally to me. For context, I am a Cowboys fan. I grew up an hour away from Philadelphia. Half of my family and friends are all Eagles fans. After the game, my lovely friend and die-hard Eagles fan, Kara Shapley, wanted to check on me, just like good friends do, right? So coming in at number 1, I was about to call you, right, singing that song. MF clearly stands for My Flying Eagles Fly, right? Used to pray for times like this. She said, you know what, shout out Philadelphia and shout out Meek Mill. I'll give this one to you all, a very well-deserved win. Well, that's all I have for social scoreboards. I have to go grease some polls. But now that we've been on social media and seen those reactions, our own Jada Ferris went out and saw how the student body at LSU was feeling after the Eagles.
We're out here at the LSU Student Union asking students their thoughts on last night's big game. The Eagles may have come out with the win, but there's a lot of mixed opinions out here, so let's see what they said.
Favorite part of the Super Bowl was definitely when I realized that the Eagles were about to win. Like, you could just tell they went on a run, they started getting all those sacks, and they started scoring back to back. It was very surprising and shocking, but I didn't want the Chiefs to win anyways, so.
Right. I wasn't surprised. Eagles, Jalen Hurts, like it is what it is. Like, there's not much to say. I knew what was going to happen. You guys came out on top, a lot of money, life's good.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a Bears fan, but definitely the Eagles are like my second favorite team. First of all, they are all fine. They are all fine, okay? And I was actually shocked that the refs called a fair game.
It was smooth, but I won my bread, so I'm not tripping about the outcome.
When the refs not on the Chiefs side, you see what happens on them. I was watching from my parlays. Two.
All mine.
All of them?
All them picked. Straight green.
It was really kind of mid, honestly. I feel like the audience really didn't get involved, which kind of made the whole halftime performance not as electric as it could have been.
Oh, I feel like the Chiefs, they're going to be back at the same spot. It's just whether they win or lose in big games now. They're still going to be in the playoffs regardless.
As you can see, they loved the game, they might have hated the game, and some people are really big Eagles fans. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Jada Ferris.
It's always fun to see how social media and the students light up after big events like this one.
Absolutely, Trish, especially when such a big event hits the Big Easy and LSU gets in on the action too.
Definitely, guys. But after the break, we'll come back on campus to see how LSU women's basketball fared against Tennessee. Don't go anywhere.
And get it done. Yeah, everybody know Gordon in a 225. He done link with Big Foe. He got buku ties, Ferrari flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm with Gordon. I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan is champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Gordon, and get it done.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on, savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Welcome back. Another SEC matchup took place in the PMAC Sunday night as the Tennessee Volunteers came to town. Sports reporter Jayla London is in studio with the story.
Coming off an upset win against UConn, the Tennessee Volunteers came to the PMAC in hopes of another upset, but were sorely mistaken as the Tigers defended home court. Coming off an upset win against the UConn Huskies, the Tennessee Vols looked to maintain their momentum, but the PMAC Magic and the Tigers' teamwork was just too much to handle as they settled into their rhythm and secured the win.
It's an impressive team, a very impressive crowd environment to play in front of. I think it was a very similar story to the last time we played. We got beat on the glass. We took too many plays off, and they came out with a win.
Junior guard Kaylin Gilbert struggled early to get her shots to fall, but finished with 23 points, leading the Tigers and contributing significantly to the win. Her teammate Anissa Morrow finished with another double-double, scoring 14 points and grabbing 14 rebounds, keeping the Tigers ahead on the defensive side of the ball. While the players on the court kept fans on their feet all game long, Mookie was also impressed with the growth of the bench.
Because when you take two of your three main players and they're sitting over there on the bench, you wonder how your bench and your players that you have on the floor are going to respond, and I thought they handled themselves beautifully.
Throughout the game, the Volunteers trailed closely behind the Tigers, going neck and neck and even tying the score multiple times. But they weren't able to get ahead until deep into the third period when the Tigers' foul sent them to the free throw line. Once again, the Tigers were able to deliver a win at home, making this the first in the history of the program that they defeated the Tennessee Volunteers twice in one season. Tigers will look to keep the momentum going as they head to Austin on February 16th to take on the University of Texas.
And while the women's team is coming off a big win, the men's team is still in a slump after losing again, but this time to Ole Miss Saturday night. After keeping the lead for a majority of the second half, some reckless fouls and misses from the line allowed the Rebels to come out with a win. The Tigers were 12-25 from the charity stripe in Saturday's loss, which is way out of the normal for the team that had a 78% free throw completion percentage previously. But the team is trying to be optimistic as the season dwindles down and they head up to Arkansas Wednesday night. Now, Madeline, I'm still holding out some hope that this team can figure things out and turn things around, but what about you?
Yeah, no, I lost hope about 4 losses ago. But don't go anywhere, because after the break, we talk about LSU Softball's big opening weekend.
Get Gordon and get it done. Yeah, everybody know Gordon in a 225. He done link with Big Foe. He got buku ties, Ferrari flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm with Gordon. I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Get Gordon and get it done.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on, savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
LSU Softball handled business this opening weekend as the team is off to a blazing start. Our own Brasia Clark has the story.
The LSU softball team kicked off their season with a 5-0 record with the Tiger Classic in Tiger Park going up against Charlotte, Central Arkansas, and Southeastern Louisiana.
The Tigers went up against Charlotte and Central Arkansas Friday afternoon, where freshman pitcher Jaden Hefner threw the first perfect game in a collegiate debut in program history against the Charlotte 49ers. Another standout pitcher was junior Sydney Burzon, who would come in against Central Arkansas, which would result in a 2-hit shutout.
I think a game like this is super special for us this early in the season to be in those moments, in those situations, have to fight through something.
The Tigers would go up against those same teams Saturday afternoon, where redshirt freshman utility Tori Edwards would hit a grand slam against Charlotte and 2 home runs against Central Arkansas.
That was so surreal, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had no idea to hit a palm tree until after we were done playing, but I just went up there. I told myself, keep the moment as small as possible, like, don't make it any bigger than it has to be.
The Tigers would conclude Tiger Classic going up against Southeastern Louisiana Sunday afternoon, where both teams would have a slow start until Southeastern scored in the 5th inning. The Tigers would tie the score in the 6th inning, and Avery Hodge would score the game-winning run at the bottom of the 7th inning, thanks to Edwards' batting, resulting in a final score of 3-2. Although the Tigers remain undefeated, Coach Beck Torina knows the team has some things to work on.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's a couple things, you know, defensive mistakes, miscues there. I think we're still learning each other out there defensively, and then I think a stretch of at-bats that we would like to have back.
Coach Torina is very happy to have the game footage to improve on the Tigers' performance. The Tigers will be back this Friday in Tiger Park to take on UT Arlington to kick off the Purple and Gold Challenge. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Bracia Clark.
There's plenty more softball to be played, and if the team plays like they did in opening weekend, this season will be a good one.
Over on the other diamond, Tiger Baseball is gearing up for their home opener. Jay Johnson's team is hoping to start out the new season strong. An almost entirely new pitching lineup with velocities in the high 80s to 90s shows that this pitching staff is very talented. Some returners might also be moving positions, with position players like shortstop Michael Braswell III potentially making an appearance in the outfield. The Tigers will take on Purdue Fort Wayne Friday at 2 p.m. As LSU baseball opens their season, there will be one familiar face in the stands. Our own Patricia Caputo took a look at what makes the LSU superfan with the bucket hat so special.
If you've ever been to an LSU basketball game or LSU baseball game, you might recognize this accessory on my head. But I'm usually not the one wearing it. That job is for Keegan Seymour, or as you may know him, Buckethead.
My biggest thing is just have fun and bring the energy.
As a Lake Arthur, Louisiana native, Seymour's love for the purple and gold began at a young age, and it led him to becoming a part of a group of LSU superfans, Mike's Maniacs.
Oh, Bucket brings a different kind of energy than we can bring ourselves right now. Bucket, he's just different.
Buckethead's rise to fame began during LSU baseball's 2023 national championship run. It was then that he realized he could capitalize off his popularity, creating his own clothing line.
Like a lot of us Cajuns, how we cook. We throw stuff in the pot and make everything taste good, you know? So that's essentially what I did with my shirt business. I threw stuff into a pot.
Buckethead can now add CEO to his resume, but his friends see him a little differently.
Crazy, hilarious, lots of energy, should be a comedian. He needs his own sitcom.
And LSU opponents get a glimpse of Buckethead's stand-up comedy act, specifically right fielders at Alex Box Stadium.
It's just a quick, maybe 30-minute search that I'm doing, and it's, you know, it's kind of like a heckling tactic that we want to essentially get into their heads because they're out here with us.
Buckethead gathers information of opposing players through social media, so he can scream their parents' names or even ask about their recent Venmo transactions during the game.
We try to use every resource we can just to try to make them get in their head and second guess themselves when a play's coming to them because we're talking to them so much.
Keegan and Mike's Maniacs will be sitting right here for every LSU baseball game. And they also plan to attend every LSU basketball game, gymnastics meet, and even tennis meets. And they'll be sitting in the front row, cheering on their Tigers. Patricia Caputo for Tiger TV Sports.
While Buckethead won't officially graduate until 2026, he plans to get an internship next spring. So Friday, he will begin his farewell tour as a prominent member of the Alex Box student section.
Well, it wouldn't be Valentine's Day without a matchup everyone can love. It's a top 2 gymnastics showdown as the #1 Oklahoma Sooners come to town. Undefeated Oklahoma, coming off a home win against Kentucky, is looking to keep that win streak alive. LSU, trying to take that #1 spot, has faced Oklahoma once this season, already looking to avenge their loss earlier from this year. That's all we have for tonight. For Tiger TV, I'm Madelyn Frentress.
And I'm Olivia Drawdy. Have a great night.